Every rider hears the call eventually. The mountain calls you to where the dragon sleeps. A place where nearly 250,000 or more riders venture every year to conquer the dragon. Highway 129, an infamous 318 curves on an 11-mile stretch of road that has claimed the lives of 29 people. It was calling me. It was my turn. Isn't that a spectacular view? I love the Ozarks. Well, hello my beautiful ortho family. This is Basil the Ortho Biker. Oh, the other side is just as pretty. If you can't tell, I'm on my way east towards Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm crossing Lake Norfolk, which is such a beautiful view on both sides. And my first gas stop's going to be in Thayer, Missouri. So if you've been following me on social media in any form or fashion, or if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that, thank you sir for the warning, you'll know that I'm planning on riding the tail of the dragon on July 4th. So I'm on my way westward towards Paducah, Kentucky. That's roughly the area where my first stop, or my first destination will be to spend the night. And then for Paducah tomorrow, I'll be riding the Land Between the Lakes. And then from the Land Between the Lakes, straight through to Chattanooga, where I will be staying for the week with Father David at his church. And be enjoying myself a nice vacation. 10 days off of work. What more could you ask for? But as I'm riding a Sportster, I have to stop every 80 to 100 miles or so just to play it safe. I do have a fuel canister in my sissy bar bag that I purchased from Lowbrow Customs, just in case I detour and run out of gas, or just run out of gas in general. Why is this guy going so slow? Apologize for the back of his truck. What can you say? This is Arkansas. But I've got all my gas routes planned out here. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'll be riding and stopping accordingly. And hopefully I'll see some pretty sights along the way, because I will be riding roads I've never ridden, going to places I've never been, seeing sights I've never seen, and hopefully doing things I've never done. But that is the joy, fun, and adventure of a motorcycle road trip. You never know what's going to happen. I can't tell if Google weather or what the Weather Channel in general can't make up its mind if it's going to rain next week. So even if it rains, sun or shine, or rain or shine, pardon me, I'm going to ride the Cherahalla Skyway and the Tail of the Dragon. So let's move on eastward and see where we end up. And so I began the long and winding descent from the peaks, plateaus, and valleys of the gently rolling Ozark Mountains of northwest Arkansas into the rolling hills and plains of southeast Missouri. Passing through the small rural towns of this area I have come to know and love, eventually emerging onto the alluvial plains of the Mississippi River, where the land was just as flat and the horizon seemed just as far as it was in the rolling farmlands of Kansas. Eventually I would cross into Illinois by bridge and soon exited, just skirting through and over the city limits of Cairo, Illinois, of which I was warned by several people to avoid. I could almost see the confluence of the Mississippi and Ohio rivers from the bridge. As I crossed into Kentucky, everything changed. The smells changed. Something you may not notice if you have been traveling by car. The foliage grew dense. The flat lands gave way to rolling hills. I swear I could almost hear the banjos in the distance. As the sun set behind me, the temperature dropped 20 degrees, a welcome change from the sweltering 105 degrees of the day, and I eventually arrived at my hotel in the area of East Calvert City. Alright guys, I made it to my hotel in Gilbertsville, Kentucky. I'm staying at the Kentucky Lakes Inn. It's actually not a bad room. It's kind of nice. I had to get the double bed because they were out of single, and this was the last room, I believe, when I reserved it online through Travelocity app, which I almost exclusively use when I'm traveling. But it's, what, 8:30, I think? I got here at 7:30. I've just been chilling in the AC, trying to cool off. I drank like 140 ounces of fluid between point A and here, point B, and I didn't use the bathroom once, so I must do a lot of sweating under all my gear. I'm exhausted. There's a Waffle House down the road. I'm going to pig out on Waffle House. I'm going to take a shower. And I'm probably going to go to bed and pass out till sometime in the morning. No alarm clock. Don't have to worry about it. I've got no responsibilities tomorrow. Just got to get to Chattanooga. That's it. That's my only responsibility. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get some food in my stomach.
A few moments later.
Well, okay, I just got back from the Waffle House. I haven't had that place in so many years, and it was so good. Blast from the past for me. Got me a Monster. I feel I deserved it. I've drank nothing but water and Gatorade for the whole day. I needed some caffeine in my system, or I was going to start getting a headache. I could already feel it coming on. Caffeine withdrawals. Last 15 minutes for the ride was weird because all of a sudden, just out of the blue, boom, it was 20 degrees colder and I was freezing on the interstate. I looked around and there were clouds in the sky. It's been clear blue skies the entire ride. I looked around. I got storm clouds on the horizon to the right, storm clouds on the horizon to the left. I couldn't see behind me. I would have sworn there was a storm chasing me. So I just kept going. And 10 minutes later, I pulled into the hotel and checked the radar and stuff on the scope, but nothing near me. It was just, once that sun set behind the trees, it was like 15 to 20 degrees colder instantaneously. And it got super windy, I guess because of the temperature, the sudden temperature shift, and the wind was just blowing like crazy. But for now, I'm going to veg. I'm going to enjoy my Monster. I've already taken my evening blood pressure meds, so I should be passing out soon. And then we'll get up, not bright and not too early, and go ride the Land Between the Lakes. But I was just told by somebody here that they moved all the elk and bison because they could no longer afford to keep them there. So the whole reason for riding the Land Between the Lakes may no longer exist. But I'm going to ride it anyways because it looks like a pretty ride. So we'll see what happens. But I'll see you in the morning. So I got up bright, but not too early. I loaded up the motorcycle before heading out to breakfast. As a side note, every motorcycle road trip, I seem to realize I brought too much stuff. And I'm hoping that through either experience or trial and error, I will finally figure out how much is just enough. But I digress. Breakfast was calling my name, and I was looking forward to seeing some elk and bison in their natural habitat. And in almost typical fashion, most of the audio for the rest of the day was unusable. As I would discover at the end of the day, my microphone was not plugged into the adapter all the way. I figured I would have learned my lessons on all the previous rides to check my equipment before I ride, but apparently I have not. But I crossed into the Land Between the Lakes, south of Lake City, and began the long and winding ride through the recreational area between Lakes Barkley and Lake Kentucky, hence the name. It was curvier than I expected, but nevertheless it was a fun and beautiful ride. Eventually I came across the Elk and Bison Prairie, and I thought I would stop and take a look. Again, I apologize for the poor audio here. Pay cash or credit? Oh, apparently they do have a population. 72 elk and 61 bison. So why don't we go ahead and see what we can find. So we are inside the elk and bison prairie in the land between the lakes. And I'm just following the signs. I do not know what I'll see here, if I'll see anything at all. Oh. That's so cool. Well, those are the bison. I wonder if I could sneak a picture. While I did manage to get a picture of the bison, they were too far away even for a 4K or 5K camera to capture with any particular detail, and the picture I did get was very reminiscent of a Van Gogh painting. What's more, I was later met on the road by a woman who was blocking my path and informing me that motorcycles were not allowed in the prairie, that I was in danger and needed to leave immediately. To be fair, I did read the rules before entering, but I interpreted them as a prohibition against off-road motorcycles, dirt bikes, and the like, given the OHV areas in the park and the specific statements of road vehicles remaining on the paved road. That and their choice of imagery to me looked like a dirt bike. Well, I guess I interpreted them wrong. So I left the park. Not a great start to my day, and admittedly, it only got worse from there. In the distance, storm clouds were brewing. From the time I left Kentucky, I was rained on for nearly the entire ride. As such, I did not get much video for fear of getting water damage before even getting to the tail of the dragon, and the GoPro not being waterproof with the adapter in use, so I put it away and just worked on getting to Chattanooga. I did eventually arrive to my destination, albeit far less dry than I wanted to, far more tired than I was expecting, and far hungrier than I had hoped I would be. I really wish I had video when the misty, forest and cloud-topped mountains surrounding Chattanooga had first appeared. It was truly a breathtaking sight. Tennessee pretty much greeted me with rain and rained on me the entire way from Kentucky to Chattanooga. If hell were a wet place, I believe I found it. Yeah. And unfortunately, my GoPro is not waterproof when I'm using the microphone adapter with the helmet. And because of that, I put it away. And unfortunately, I missed some beautiful scenic vistas. So when you come into start approaching Chattanooga, there's a 6% grade down, and they got signs everywhere telling all the trucks to slow down. Once you either get onto or get past that 6% grade, it opened up to this beautiful scenic vista of forest-topped mountains with clouds like kissing the sides of the mountains, and it was breathtaking. It was so beautiful. I imagine it'd be even more beautiful if it wasn't so muggy, but I think the clouds were part of the allure of what I was looking at. The Appalachians are beautiful, and I can't wait to see more of it. But tonight, I am just going to go to bed because I am sore, I am tired, and I just took a shower, and I think that's about it for the day. So I don't think I've said in this video, but if you like what you see so far and you want to keep following me on my adventure into the Appalachian Mountains and my bid to ride the tail of the dragon, please feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notifications of videos just like this one. But as always, keep the two wheels on the ground, the shiny side up, and ride safe. I'll see you in the next one. Oh my goodness, these pillows are so comfy. Oh.